Well, today we are going to resolve the problem called next round from Codeforces. It is the number 158A. Its level of difficulty is 800 and the topic is implementation, and it's mentioned as a special problem. The problem says like contestant who earns a score equal to or greater than Kate place finisher's score will advance to the next round, as long as the contestant earns a positive score. A total of n participants took part in the contest, and you already know their scores. Calculate how many participants will advance to the next round. As first step, we can read how the first line should be configured. What we need to write is that we will receive a number of participants, then a finisher's score. In order to write this in Python language, we will say n, k, map, int, input.split. That means that the input we receive in strings, we will split it, and then we will transform into integers. The first value will correspond to n, the second value will correspond to k. On the second line, we need a list, and that list, in this case, will be scores. The scores are also given in this problem. We will also receive as part of the input, and therefore we need to add them. In this case, we will write scores equals list, and the same as the first line. This just has the difference that instead of just transforming the values to integers, they will get added to a list. We need this list in order to loop. The score should meet some characteristics, be equal to or greater than k place in order to advance to the next round. So we know that the loop is in scores, but we don't know how to determine the last score, the k place player. That is possible when we calculate the index of the last player. This in Python will always be k-1. We can initiate a variable called advances. Since we want the output to be a number of participants who advance, in this case, the participants who advance are the advances. We then need a loop for score in scores. We now know that we have to have a score greater than 0 and a score greater equals score of. We write it as follows. At the end, we just write +1, advances +1. Finally, we should just print the advances number, and that would be all.
For example, on the first test, we have as input 8 participants, 5 as the last participant accepted score, and therefore the output will be 6. And how did we determine that? The first 5 will be 5, 5, 7, 7, 7, 8. That's the reason why it's 6.